I've been using this controller for just about 15 years or so. This wired Xbox 360 controller is the controller that came with the Xbox that I purchased oh so many years ago. And the Xbox 360 controllers are special. The form factor I think is perfect and they just work great. Obviously this thing's so old, it doesn't have stick drift or anything like that. This thing is awesome. But I do have some problems. One, it's wired, and with its age, the wire is beginning to fail. So I figured I'd go ahead and try out some new controllers. And it was good timing because AliExpress reached out to me trying to promote their summer sale, and in the list of products that they showed me that I could go ahead and use for this, two of them were controllers, and I have them here. So in this video, I'm going to be checking out two of the top controller brands when it comes to this third-party market. One of them being GameSir, and this isn't the first GameSir controller I checked out. Probably about a year ago, we did a video on one of the ones that kind of clips into a phone. That one was really cool, works really good still to this day. And we also have this one right here from 8BitDo. These are two different tiers of controllers. This 8-bit one definitely is the more premium one. And if we go over here, you can see the GameSir one is just under 30, and then the 8-bit one is just above 50. When it comes to device support, these two are basically the same, as they're both kind of primary support is supposed to be Switch controller replacements. I don't have a Switch. I primarily game either on the Steam Deck, Xbox 360, or a PC, in which both of these fully support two of the three. For PC gaming, both of these controllers are going to work completely fine. For Linux and Steam Deck gaming, they're going to work great. They both support Apple Arcade, which is cool, and when it comes to actual Bluetooth and using it as like an Android controller, based on the reviews I've watched, it seems to be kind of a hit or miss scenario with both of these. And before I unbox them and check them out, of course we have to do the AliExpress ad read. Big thank you to them for sending these over. Again, they're promoting their summer sale in which you can get up to 90% off various items within the sale. They offer free shipping for new users, free returns. They accept all major credit, debit cards, PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, and pay later options if that's your thing. When it comes to shipping, you're not really going to get next day shipping, but it does ship a lot quicker than you may expect. I've been using them forever to get all kinds of cool tech and gadgets from overseas. A lot of the same products that you may find on Amazon could be slightly cheaper on AliExpress, so it's definitely worth checking out. And I do have to note with the 90% off thing, do check, because like this MSRP on this controller is not the MSRP. You can see here $70 is the actual MSRP. Sponsor or not, I have to note that. So if you're interested in checking these out or seeing what other products they're offering in this sale, do check the link down below and you can use my exclusive discount code to save even more money. AliExpress offers better choices at better prices. With that, I'm actually quite excited to check these out and actually test it. I've gained a problem as of recently. I've been playing Fortnite on the Steam Deck quite a bit using like the Google Cloud Gaming. So first things first, we're going to open up this controller and kind of highlight it, talk about it. This one is the GameSir T4 Pro. The buttons are customizable. It has LED lights in it, which it has a battery. The battery here is 600 milliamp hours, which isn't that large, but here is the reveal. Oh, that's the back. Here is the reveal. You can see I went with the white one. They do have a black one that's a little bit more transparent, but that's not really my style. So in here we have the actual controller as well as the dongle here. This does have Bluetooth, but of course you can use this. I think it's a 2.4 gigahertz band for connecting that way. And there it is. And one thing about this one is it's kind of more geared toward mobile gaming because it has this guy, which is a little cell phone holder that you could go ahead and clip right on in here. Ooh, stickers. Just like the other GameSir device I checked out, the manual is pretty comprehensive in telling you everything that's going on. It has indicator lights to tell you how to pair it, what setting it's in. It does have 4 programmable buttons on the back, so they're labeled as M1 through M4, so depending on the angle. And I do find this helpful because like on the Steam Deck, for example, I made it so instead of having to kind of move up to change the inventory in the game like Fortnite, for example, I can do that. Boom, 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 pop, pop. Switching weapons is really efficient that way. So how does it feel? How does it feel? It's definitely very lightweight. They probably could have gotten away with putting a larger battery in it, but they also probably want it lightweight because they're expecting the weight of a cell phone on it, which then that might not work out. It doesn't feel necessarily cheap, but it doesn't feel like too premium of a product, especially up here in the trigger buttons. Now I do want to compare this to something. If you go again like $10, $20 more, you could get this. This is the 8BitDo. This one has definitely garnered my interest because of this dock that's included, and the joysticks are Hall effect joysticks, which if you don't know, instead of kind of traditional joysticks, they use magnets to actually kind of dictate motion, which really helps for long-term or longevity, which again, I have been really fortunate to actually have never really experienced that dramatically, because again, for some reason, these things never break, unless if you mistreat the cord. Oh, the grand reveal. Alright, so let's pull out the controller and the dock. Oh yeah, that's a real nice dock. It has USB Type-C on the back. It just looks really nice in that dock, and I've read, and we will test this, that this dock is used as the actual connection when you plug it with this USB-C directly into your Windows machine, which is cool. Of course, it does support Bluetooth as well, as it's in the title, the ultimate Bluetooth controller. God damn. It does have a receiver in here. Oh, look at that. That's cute. It says 8BitDo, and it's in a kind of little brick thing. This just slides on in there to stow. So then you can use it either without Bluetooth or without the dock in its entirety. The controller does have a USB on it, so you probably don't have to use the dock to charge it. This edition is awesome, I do have to say. It has a 1000 milliamp battery, which is, I'm not good at math, like 40-ish% more than the GameSir controller that I have here. It's definitely just a little bit heavier, probably because of that battery. Kind of compare the feel and overall quality of these two controllers. Oh yeah. The buttons on this 8-bit one are definitely more clicky. These ones are a little wider, which kind of gives an unbalanced kind of feel to it. If you have your whole finger over it, you don't really feel it, but this definitely has a lot better feedback in the triggers. Oh, even the back trigger. This one's kind of snappy, and this one kind of just glides. The buttons on both of them are comparable. The GameSir one has more of a plasticky snapback noise, while this one is almost identical to the Xbox 360 controller, which I enjoy. Now the joysticks. This is where we are hopefully going to find the bigger difference. The GameSir one, basically an identical feeling to the Xbox 360 controller, which again, I don't mind at all. And this right here is going to be the very first time that I touch a hollow effect joystick. I mean, there is a difference. Okay, yeah. I said earlier the joysticks on this were a little stiff, but I mean, they don't feel as stiff as the 8-bit one, but the 8-bit one does feel a little bit better. Yeah, I definitely like this. This GameSir one is a good controller, but this is just different. I mean, I might like this better than like the stock Xbox Series S controllers that I have upstairs. Granted, the shape of this is supposed to match the Switch Pro controller. When it comes to, I have kind of larger hands. The Xbox controllers definitely feel a little bit better in my hands, but I mean, I can play with the retro controllers just fine. This is something I could definitely get used to. The Xbox controller just feels a little bit wider, and the actual grasp for your hands is a little bit better. But again, if you're used to using like a Switch Pro controller, this thing is awesome. Oh, I turned it on. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a little bit of time with both of these, play a couple rounds of Fortnite, and report back to you. And of course, I'll try this one out with the actual kind of cell phone mount. Do I have it? Get rid of the plastic. The actual mechanism for this is really nice. Of course, you don't have to use it, but it just kind of slides in, clicks in, and you still have access to the charger. I'm going to have to take off my case. Casual flex. Look how pretty that color is. I mean, that does feel really good. And this is a big controller. I can see if this was any heavier, it would be kind of annoying. Whoa, I don't think there's a way to tighten that. It does kind of click, but if you're like getting intense, you might have a little run into some problems. It's definitely going to have to be a tilted down situation. But again, I'll be back after I play around with these for a couple hours. Alright, now that I have some actual experience using both of these, to be quite frank, they are both pretty awesome controllers. Obviously, they have their pros and cons, and I'm going to talk about that, who should buy what, and my personal experience over playing it for the last couple hours. But first, some clarifications and some stuff. One, this 8BitDo one here, it's currently charging on the dock, has a really nice LED light on the bottom, so I noticed that when I first plugged it in. And when it comes to using this as the dock being the receiver, It's still technically the USB in here as a receiver, but this is actually like a pass-through USB port, not just like a storage thing. So that is how that is achieved. And the hard thing about reviewing controllers is a lot of this is kind of personal preference based. I could really only give you my own. What controller feels better in the hand? Well, this GameSir one, in my opinion, feels a little bit better in the hand. It's slightly bigger. I have larger hands. If you have smaller hands, the 8-bit one is probably going to be a superior experience. When it comes to overall connectivity, I had no issues, especially using the actual 2.4 gigahertz dongles. I hooked it up to the Steam Deck with Bluetooth, no issues for either of them. And I didn't really have time to test it out with any other hardware, but I will leave a link down below to a retro gaming video that covered the 8-bit controller and another channel that covered this controller here. When it comes to the actual buttons, the 8-bit controller is definitely superior. As we mentioned in the initial impressions, this one just feels like a more premium device. And when you're talking about controllers like this, pricing on them usually isn't too dramatic. So when you're talking about a $10 to $20 price difference, that is kind of a big difference in the quality that you're going to get. Obviously, I would prefer this one for battery life, the dock, all that. Overall, if you have the money to spare, this is probably a better buy, especially if it's going to be kind of your docked gaming controller that's going to be stagnant at home. This is the main one. But if you want a really nice one that is cheaper, you don't care if it gets thrown around a bit more, this is lighter, less expensive, and it actually performs, again, really well. The GameSir is the one that provided me a victory royale, so it gets some points there. Essentially, if I was going to be traveling with this, if there was going to be a console or something that multiple different people, including like kids, used, I'd probably go with this one. This is going to be my controller that I have at my desk for me. And after using this, I might even look into their controller that's specifically designed for Xbox consoles and then put that upstairs with the kind of family gaming center. I did test this one with the actual kind of this thing, phone mount, and it does very good. The responsive time of both of them for the Bluetooth connectivity is awesome, and just overall two fantastic options depending on exactly what you are looking for. So with that, I do hope you enjoyed it. This is kind of my second attempt at reviewing and overviewing controllers, so if you liked it, please let me know down below. If you didn't, let me know too. And with all that, I do hope you have an absolutely beautiful day, and goodbye.